Welcome and welcome back, everybody, to the OK Grognard Show. Today is Wednesday, August 13th, 2025, 10 a.m. Central in beautiful Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. And today we're going to talk a little about a new thing that GaryCon, the fine folk at GaryCon put out. It's their GaryCon, Legacy GaryCon shirts. I guess t-shirts is what I'm interested in, but they have other stuff too because they got hoodies and, other stuff. We'll take a look at the website and check it out. 17 years of GaryCon art, which are missing from your closet. Well, I'll tell you what, the infamous GaryCon 1 lizard. I have a shirt from GaryCon 1. I've been to them all. I've got shirts from all of them. Although a lot of them I only have the GM shirts from, which is somewhat different, if not quite a bit different from some of the shirts over the years. But the GaryCon 1 shirt, the one I have, they only made them in white. They had green, and the GaryCon Lizard Man was, or the TSR Lizard Man was on there, and maybe they had some difficulty with the logo, or making it too similar to the trademark that's still in use. This is why this other joint got in trouble, right? But they put these out, so they must have some inkling what they're doing. I bought one right away. Wasn't sure if it might disappear, but the one thing I did know, the shirt I had was way too small for me now. 17 years. That's a lot of mileage too. And it was white. It had some been well worn. So it needed replacing. So I got one of these with the first. The other ones I have, and probably two through 7, 6, 8. I don't know. Wouldn't be something I'd wear today, only because of the size, not because of the art. But so yeah, let's have a look at some of these, because and they're. That's the GaryCon site. I'll put a link to the thing in the show notes, and I'll put a direct link to where the shirts are, but there's more stuff to shop on there and look around, so don't be shy about seeing what else is there, because there's a lot to see. And where are we at? You know what? I'm just going to change over. So, yeah, March 19th to 22nd is when GaryCon 18 will be happening. I've already got my badge and put in some submissions for events, including a chainmail event I hope to run on Thursday daytime, and my first edition D&D event, which I hope to run Thursday evening, and of course winding out the convention on Sunday with a game of Avalon Hill's Original Civilization. So be sure to check those things out. All these young people in the videos or in the pictures, isn't that lovely? What's up with that? Man, I've been taking tons and tons of pictures since GaryCon 1 inclusive. I slowed down taking pictures once everyone else stopped being so camera shy, or using their camera shy. But the first 4 or 5 years of GaryCon, I might have been the only one taking an extensive amount of pictures. So if you ever want to look on, I used to have them on Google, but Google started getting stingy about their space. They wanted to charge people. I get it, charge people if you can, right? But I just took my pictures down. forget it. And I think there was a time early on when Flickr, or was it called Photo Bucket? I don't know. Some of those sites where they had storage space and you got a certain amount free. Well, let's face it, they went by the wayside because you can't give stuff away for free to an unlimited number of people and hope that, the advertising is going to cover you because, eventually it won't. There's a tipping point. Look at that. Visit the web store. Past GaryCon. Yep. So they have T-shirts. They have all sorts of stuff in there. And let's go to the shopping area of this. Here's the merch. This is where I'll link to in my show notes directly to the Legacy Tee page. But you can go from there and just, do category, do a search by different things. You've got all sorts of anything. All GaryCon 17, 9 items. Swim and beachwear, I don't think they're targeting me with the swim and beachwear. But beachwear, maybe? I don't know. Maybe. Got the Legacy tees way down here at the bottom, T-shirt or any GaryCon art tees. But there are 16. So see, these are just 10 that are here so far. And the other 6 will be on the next page. So what do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's pop open. This is the one I got, right? This is the classic GaryCon. Oops, let's do this one. There we go. The GaryCon one, celebrating a life well played, of course, is the slogan. It's the thing we say. Now these, unlike early GaryCon ones, sorry, not early ones, because the first ones didn't have anything on the back. Later on, they started putting stuff on the backs of the T-shirts too. But what you get here is logo on the front, slogan right below, GaryCon toward the top. Smart. I have noticed in a lot of cases that, let me pop off of this just for a second. A lot of T-shirts I wear because I want to help, bring some notice to whatever it is, whether it's a product or a company or a convention or whatever. And too many of them don't put their name on the top. And so, you get framed on a video and suddenly this is not in view. The name of the event or the product or the company. So, there's a lesson to learn for everybody. Hey, the Vince himself is in the chat. Definitely going to have to grab some of those old school T-shirts. You do notice they're $40 though. So watch out for that. But there's some cool ones. Let me pop through a few other ones on the thing and show them off. GaryCon 2's artwork, right? Let's get that. Now, I sent them a message because they don't mention who the artist was. And I'm sure they're following their own contracts, and maybe in some cases they don't have permission to use the artist's name, although you would think the artist would want their artwork well known. So I didn't go through all of the years and figure out who the artists are, and some of them might be obvious. This one in particular might jump out at you. And I'm not going to just flat out mention them here, but I've mentioned to them that I think they should get the artists' names on the various items that, this is just a T-shirt without the art, right? And without the artist's name. Some people might collect stuff just because a particular artist, let's go to number 4. Just because a particular artist did the artwork here, somebody who wants to have all of the artwork on all of the things that are out there that artist's artwork are on. So, maybe you sell some more, maybe you don't, I don't know. It's That's what everyone who's not involved and doesn't see the numbers will tell you. You know what you should do, because everybody does that, right? You know what you ought to do? You should just do blah, blah, blah. Right on. Let's do number 5. Oops, gotta right click and open it up, and then we'll do straight to the image. But yeah, Gary Con up top on every one of them, celebrating a life well played. Here's from Gary Con 5. Nothing like having the worm come at you. And you can see a lot of this stuff, even though it is done in the modern era, is meant to evoke the old school era of artwork. So you'll see that sensibility in the vast majority of these. And, you know, some of them may be a little more modern looking, or maybe they're not exactly to your taste art-wise. But if you're a completist, you're going to want to get a shirt from every year. Lots of dragons in these. We love that. You got to have the dragons. Let's see there. Here we go with Gary Con 8. Look at that. The fire giant and hellhounds, or two-headed hellhound, huh? Right? It's not Cerebus. There's no third head. And it's breathing fire, so, you know, it's got that going for it. That's a lovely thing. What do we got? Let's go with 9 here. But I recommend them. They are, let me tell you straight up, they are thin. They are not super thick like a lot of shirts made today that are work shirts, like the Carhartt kind of shirts that are heavy duty. These are thinner, so they're more comfortable in summer, I'm sure, to wear. And they're not see-through. I'm not looking at my shirt and seeing my pale, pasty skin underneath. So, my well-tanned body underneath. Gary Con, look at that. That sword, huh? Watch out for that sword. And let's see, here's number 10, is it? Yep, this is 10. Gary Con 10. Yeah, that lich is done for, huh? And the Gary Con, the font used for Gary Con over the years, is, you'll notice, is sometimes a little different. You saw that last one. And we see this one here is a little bit different, right? So it changes a bit, but you know, all of that those fonts, I'm sure, are trademarked for oops, where are we at? 11. Here we go. Gary Con 11. We'll go through each one of these, right? Might as well. There she is. I guess it was Fritz Leiber that dubbed Ernie's mom, and, you know, Luke's mom, the Pirate Queen, and this was a rendition of that. In some of these years, they did miniatures that were, you know what's interesting? They don't have, and I just noticed this, they don't have, for instance, on that one or this one or any of them, they have Gary Con. They don't have the year denoted or the Gary Con denoted. This doesn't say Gary Con 12 or XII on it. So unless you know, this will be a if you know, you know kind of situation with these things. But that is definitely 12 there. Let's have a quick look at this one. It's 13. Have I blathered enough? Yeah, we're a little hard on time here. We're probably going to hit 20 minutes before we're done today. But we have a lot to look at in these, and I think it's worth checking them out. Nice little desert adventure, right? And, this one too. There we go. Pop that open. Take a quick look here. Little planer thing going on there. Opening a portal. The gods have been asked to let us get into this land. And there's a nice dragon in there too. That's Gary Con 14, right? And 15. 15. There we go. Big tough dwarf fighter there. Over the vanquished. Is this one coming to get him? No, this one's got a sack of gold. This is one of his buddies. Let's get out of here. There's the plundered treasure chest in the background. And Gary Con 16 will be the last one we look at, because that is the last of the so-called legacy shirts with. And notice that it's kind of Errol Otis. Who's that? Is that Gary in the crystal ball behind the beholder? Got that Errol Otis distinctive. Like I said, some of these are, it's more obvious who the artist is than others. Well, let's just say we looked through them all. Again, $40, not cheap, but in this day and age, with the kind of art that's going on them and all of that. And they do so much for charity. I mean, they raised tens of thousands of dollars just this last year. And over the years, I'm sure hundreds of thousands of dollars for various charities. And they switch it up from time to time, but I think Wounded Warrior Project is always one of them. An Extra Life is involved with the convention. So there's a lot of good causes that Gary Con is supporting. And anything you do that helps Gary Con is, by default, helping those charities as well. And Luke's a wonderful guy, and all the people that work there work on the convention, whether it's Dave or Josh or Skip or anybody. I mean, the list is endless, and from year to year there's people that join on, and of course all the game masters and everybody need a little salute, because without the backbone of the convention, people running games, you just going out to buy stuff. You can do that online, right? Now we meet in person every year in March, because we love playing games and we love living a life well played, as Gary would say. So there you go. Those are the shirts. The links will be in the show notes. Thank you very much for popping in. To Vince himself in the chat there, the Maroon Room prog rock band. Let's mention you again when we get into the sequence here. We've been looking at the Legacy Gary Con shirts. And again, there are links to other things in the shopping area where you can go get hoodies and other items with those artworks on them. But the show streams live on Twitch each Wednesday at 10 a.m. Central. Then it's archived on YouTube. Like, subscribe, follow, do all of those things for us. It would be greatly appreciated. We've got a new Patreon supporter this week. Support the channel even at the free level on Patreon, if you would please. Link in the show notes. And join such luminaries as Tom Tullis of Fat Dragon Games, Carlos Lysing of Castle Entertainment, Heath Farndon of the Antipodean D20, Dave O'Brien, unauthorized user, Heidi and Eric Gygax Garland of Gaxland, Vince Ragusa of the Maroon Room prog rock band extraordinaire, Daniel Caldwell of Griffin and Gargoyle, Christian Garcia, Stephanie Lesniewski-Gruchow, Cera Toppilopkus, Colin Szablewski, Death Angel Shadow. Thanks for joining in on the Patreon. And as always, DM extraordinaire, Shane Bradley. This has been the OK Grognard Show from beautiful Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Bye-bye.